Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. Political reflections, let's start with India, Pakistan. 12 Mirage 2000 jets reportedly took part in the strike. Something to note, the platform is nuclear capable, says Strat Sentinel. Balakot is not in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It is in undisputed Pakistan, Bruno Makaish. Indian fighter jets destroy terrorist camp in Pakistan, and he says the last time the Indian Air Force crossed the line of control intentionally and publicly to conduct airstrikes was 1971. And then I saw another report from Strat Sentinel. We're getting reports that this may be a mass casualty event. This seems to have been a surgical strike on a terrorist camp deep in Pakistan. I conclude by saying this is a hair-trigger situation and the first test for Imran Khan. In this photograph from Tara McKelvey, you see the president heading to Vietnam, and she tweeted, and could reach an agreement to end the Korean War. My question remains, as it did on the 30th of April 2018, what security guarantees can Trump provide to Kim that convince him to denuclearize, or is denuclearization off the table? He can hardly forget what happened to Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi. And therefore, that's the question. Offering up bulletproof security guarantees is the equivalent of threading the needle. In this photograph from AFP, bodyguards run alongside the car of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as he leaves Dongdang railway station after arriving in Vietnam. And I go back to April 2018, when I was describing a similar visit to the DMZ. And Chairman Kim sat in his presidential vehicle surrounded by his ninja bodyguards. And I said that was almost as good an opening scene as P.T. Anderson's Boogie Nights. This was cinema at the highest level, which is no surprise when you consider that Kim Jong-il, the father, was obsessed with cinema and also amassed arguably the world's largest personal film collection, over 20,000 bootlegged 35mm screening copies. He had a penchant for Hennessy parody cognac and was the biggest buyer of Hennessy parody cognac for 2 years in the mid-1990s. He began his career as the head of the state's propaganda and agitation department, and it's clear that Kim Jong-un's sister, who holds the same role and evidently handles all the optics, is a chip off the old block. And how things have moved from September 2017, when Kim was letting off rockets, and I was quoting Thomas Pynchon's Schwarzgerät and Gravity's Rainbow, and now we are here where clearly there's some personal chemistry between the two of them. Theresa May understood to have told Angela Merkel she doesn't want to delay Brexit and still hopes Britain will leave as planned in March. It's such a fluid situation. And what's happening here is people are buying up sterling. And I think that's on the basis that, this is not going to happen in its current format. At the end of the year, I said the trajectory of the tariff war is another pivotal curve to keep an eye on in 2019. Have a look at this footage from Friedland about the Memorandum of Understanding and the dispute between the president and his top trade negotiator, Robert Lighthizer. I said that on the 9th of July last year, tariff wars, who blinks first, and it's clearly looking like Trump is going to blink. World Court says the UK should return control of Indian Ocean islands, should hand back to Mauritius control of an Indian Ocean archipelago where a key US naval base is located, saying the UK's continued administration of the Chagos archipelago is an unlawful act of a continuing character. Accordingly, the UK is under an obligation to bring an end to its administration of the Chagos archipelago as rapidly as possible, Yusuf said. It's part of the British Indian Ocean Territory, which has been administered by the UK since 1965, when it paid the then self-governing colony of Mauritius £3 million for control of the islands. August 2013, I was saying I have no doubt that the Indian Ocean is set to regain its glory days. That link is on the website. Andrew Koribiko in Eurasia says the Indian Ocean region is expected to become the geostrategic center of gravity in the new Cold War. This is a photograph of Diego Garcia, British Indian Ocean Territory. And also in September, I was saying President Trump is also rattling Xi Jinping's golden cage and surely wants to bottle up China in the South China Sea, and hence the Indian Ocean, I said, becomes pretty central. Quite the embrace between Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who popped up in Tehran on a surprise visit yesterday. That's from Hala Gorani. The point is, Iran stood by Syria and took a lot of pain to make sure that their ally did not fall.